Here we are then, Fairy Village Woods, walk and talk. We haven't got Mollie today because she's in heat, so I'll take her out on her own, because if I bring her out, we'll have Riley trying it on with her, Chewie trying it on with her, any other dog that's male will try it on with her. So, not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. Aye. And last night, I did porridge. I made porridge again. I'd stopped doing it for a while, but I figured, well, carbs, it's very, very good for carbs to do that. Because the porridge I do is absolutely gorge. It's absolutely gorge. It's like dark chocolate porridge with really soft, gorgeous sultanas. So you get that moist, fruitiness of the sultana, as well as you're enjoying the chocolateness of the porridge. Nice. Well, the trick to that is you've got to get a decent porridge, but then also a decent hot chocolate. Make the hot chocolate first. Well, boil some milk. Do the hot chocolate in that. There you go. Then put that to the porridge out. Let it soak for a good hour or two. Stick it in the microwave. Don't cook it over the heat. If you cook it over the heat, you're gonna burn it, because it's milk. Milk generally burns unless you're stirring it all the time. We've got busy knives to do it in the microwave. That's what I do. Well, because that way also you guarantee that everything fluffs up nicely. It's heat. All it is heat. Who cares about a traditional way of doing things? It's heat. So you put it in the microwave for about 5 minutes. Depends on the size. I do a massive old ice cream tub. Big thing it is. I do 6 days worth. And then put them into, like the utterly butterly margarine tubs. The normal, smaller size. There you go, 6 of those. There's your breakfast. 3 go in the freezer, 3 go in the fridge. Perfect. But because I do 5 minutes first in the microwave, then take it out, give it a stir. Obviously it's going to be still highly liquidy. Another 5 minutes. This time it's not so liquidy. It's getting to the point where it's now getting a bit more solid in parts. So another good stir. Another 3 minutes. So then just do it by 3 minutes. 3 minutes. If necessary, add a bit more liquid, add a bit more milk to it. Yeah. And sultanas, you add that at the end. Yep. So you put that over the top of the porridge rather than in it. If you put it in it, it's just going to overly cook the sultanas. So, but put them in some boiling water. If you want to flavour them, you can do that. You can put some honey in the water. Honey flavoured sultanas if you want. Or lemon, orange and lemon. Yeah, that sort of stuff, if you want that sort of stuff. Yeah. I don't, I just do it in normal water. Because they're a flavour to themselves anyway. So that's cool. So, yeah. Did a video last night. I haven't actually put that video on YouTube yet. It's quite a biggie. So I'll do that when I get back from this walk. So I've got to take Mollie out as well. So I'll do that. Well, ideally speaking now, I think Mollie will be going out in the Civic for at least a week, until she's not in heat anymore. The others will be going out in the Freelander, because they can jump in the Freelander. Mollie can jump in the Civic, so there you go. I put the seats back up in the Civic now, so it looks more like a car, rather than a van, so that's good. It might help in some way. I don't know, it might help in drivability, because the car's supposed to have the seats up, really. So maybe that helps in that way. It may help with warmth, because you've got the seats up. So that might make a difference in that way. I don't know. Time will tell. So there's that. Also, one thing I would recommend, Mikhaila Peterson, Jordan Peterson's daughter. What a wonderful, incredible woman. I mentioned her before on videos. She's still doing a podcast. She did one that came out today where she's talking to Matthew McConaughey. Worth listening to. Well, you go on YouTube, you can get it there. But I tell you, if you haven't heard her story, try and find the video where she's talking about her situation and what she's been through since childhood. It's phenomenal. I mean, certainly when look in last night's video and in other videos, I've talked about the fact that Christians won't stand up. They don't want to stand up and be attacked. So even though they know that things aren't as they should be, they pretend that things are great because they don't want to speak. They don't want to stand up and be attacked. Well, Mikhaila Peterson is someone who stood up. She's been attacked left, right, and centre, but she's still stood up. She's not talking about Christianity, that sort of stuff. She's talking about diet. She's talking about how your diet can help with your body, which is like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it, really? Certainly makes sense that when you look at it from a dietary point of view, we're putting stuff in our bodies that is really not designed to go in there, really. All these sugars that we're now putting in, the natural sugars, it's in fruit. We don't really bother with that anymore. I know, I do it. Oh, I do it, yes. I just had coffee before coming out to wake me up and some Maryland cookies. Yeah, of course. High in sugar. Crazy, but that sort of stuff shouldn't be going into our systems. Carbs, we shouldn't be having that many carbs. Not right for us. Even milk, we shouldn't really be having milk. Certainly the full fat milk. Full fat milk is designed for calves. It's designed to make calves grow quickly and put fat on. So, look around. You've got people who are obese, ask them if they drink a lot of milk as well. Or if they did when they were younger. Yeah. But then again, we all did, didn't we, really? But you look at the stuff that's destroying our teeth, you look at the stuff that's destroying our kidneys, everything. Our body is being attacked by a lot of stuff, but also by the food we eat. And Mikhaila Peterson looks at that, which is fantastic. And again, you can try out some of the things she's talking about. She's basically on a complete carnivore diet. I think her diet really is beef and lamb, really. With occasional other things thrown in once in a while, but really not very often at all. And that works for her. That's what she needs, because she has a lot of autoimmune issues, I think. I'm not totally sure, but she has a lot of stuff going on in her body. And changing her diet to that has taken away most of that, including depression. She had awful depression. And when she changed her diet, depression went. As I say, I don't know. I can't tell you the answer to this because, to at least to a certain degree, from a Christian point of view, depression is a oppressive spirit. You're not going to get rid of an oppressive spirit by changing your diet, are you? So whether it was that or not, I don't know. I don't know. The lady, never met her. I've only listened to her testimony and listened to the things she's talked about. So, but certainly worth a listen. She's a very incredible woman, to say the least, yes. Anyway, now going on from last night, from what I was talking about last night. Unfortunately, the Amber, leave. Stop drinking puddle water. Disgusting. Looks in mud. Chewie, watch where you're walking, idiot. Wait. Walking in circles. What are you doing? No good looking for Mollie. She's not here. She's indoors. now what? Oh, God. That's the problem with here. Ahead, you can't see. So if there's someone ahead, you just can't see it. Oh, it's mucky. Shouldn't be this mucky. It was dry last night. I was hoping it wouldn't be that mucky today, but yeah, it's still incredibly mucky. Don't seem to have dried out at all, but it was incredibly cold last night, so yeah. It's going to get a bit warmer today though, so midnight tonight should be about 12 degrees. So, and then tomorrow, the temperature drops again. Anyway, what I was saying, yes, from the video last night, if you're the people that are talking about this lukewarm stuff, I mean, you've got to keep lukewarm, you've got to be nice to people, you've got to say nice things and encouraging things all the time. You've been programmed to be that way, to think that way. When you became a Christian, you were supposed to have your mind renewed. Well, it seems as if you got your mind renewed in the wrong direction, didn't you really? Well, it's partly to blame of the church. You know, the church saying that, yeah, well, for anyone to be in charge of a church, you've got to be trained in a Bible college. That's demonic. Having pastors leading churches, you know, so therefore compassion and counselling being at the forefront of church, but worldly counselling, because that's the point. I said the other day, Christian counselling is worldly counselling with a bit of prayer put in there. They still do things according to the worldly system, not God's system. Yeah. A Christian counsellor is someone who should be guided by God as to what the problem is with that person. So if I'm dealing with a person, say tree here. Tree here is person. Person has issues. God leads me and guides me to what those issues are with that person. I then speak to that person briefly about those issues. Then God tells me what the answer is to that. So I offer that to that person. The person accepts it or rejects it. If they accept it, I help them through, prayerfully, to deal with that situation. Okay, we're done. If the person rejects it, then we're done. Because when God says, this is the way to deal with it, and the person says no, we're done. The problem is Christian counselling is the same as worldly counselling. Okay, sit down, I'm not going to rush you. You say what you want to say when you want to say it. It's your time here, okay? It's your agenda. You know, there's no, well, okay, let's see what God's saying about this when we first come in. That's what it should be. Let's seek God. Even ask the person who needs counselling, what do you think God is telling you that this issue is? That's the first port of call. What is God telling you the problem is? Okay, deal with it that way. See, and then also, part of Christian counselling is, if you've got to be tough with someone, if you've got to say something that offends someone, you say it. Because it's not about you, the counsellor. That's the point. It's not about you, the counsellor. It's not about whether you work again. It's about the person you're supposed to be helping. The worldly system says, if it takes 10 years to get anywhere, that's okay. The Christian system says, no, that is not okay in any way, shape or form. That's 10 years of that person's life wasted. So, you say something that offends that person, but that person gets over the offence. God teaches them through the offence what they need to learn. They deal with it. They move forward. Yeah, a few years later, they're in a far better position because you were willing to say what others weren't willing to say. I'll tell you now, if Christian counselling starts doing what it should be doing, and doing it the way it should be doing it, worldly counsellors will be out of business, because everyone will come to the Christian counsellors. Everyone will come to the Christian counsellors. To the people that are doing things God's way. You see, you're not supposed to be talking to people. People that are in chains, as I said the other day, it's no good encouraging people that are in chains. They're in chains. You've got to break them free. Because they're in chains. If someone is in a hole, it's no good sitting on top of the hole and saying, oh, don't worry, you'll be okay. How are you feeling today? Are you okay? There you go, don't worry. Chin up. You'll get out of it at some point soon. The person's thinking, bring me a bloody ladder. No good you sitting on top telling me I'll get out of here soon. Bring me a rope or a ladder. But that's the point. You just want to sit on the edge and talk. You don't want to be a solution, do you? Hey? You just want to make sure you don't offend. Because of course, you could be saying to the person, what about I get you a ladder? And the person gets offended. Oh, for goodness sake, didn't you think I would have thought about getting the ladder before? And you're like, oh dear, I shouldn't have said that. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Who cares? Get him a bloody ladder. Get the person a ladder. If they're in a hole, get them a way out of the hole. If they're in chains, get them a bolt cutter to cut the chains off. You know? Now, a bolt cutter spiritually is going to be however God advises you to deal with it in prayer. Yeah? Situation I was in years ago, where I prayed for this lady. God guided, the bolt cutter. And that's the analogy I have today for that. That wasn't the analogy I had then, but that's the analogy I had today. This lady was in a blinking mess, to say the least. Complete mess. The way God guided for the situation was for us to start praying, then for me to tell her why she was still praying, to with her eyes shut, open her eyes in a prayerful state and tell me what she could see. So she did. She could see these boxes in front of her. And she could see the Lord. And the Lord was telling her to put the issues that she had in the boxes. So one box appeared in front of her. She put some of the stuff in that box. The Lord then made that box disappear. Flung it way off to the east until it had disappeared. Then the next one. Then the next box. Then the next box. And the boxes were named with the issues that she had. So every issue she gave to the Lord. Every issue she gave to the Lord. And the Lord got rid of them. All of them. Just threw them away. Never to come back to her. And she was free. And I'd say that took probably about an hour, 2 hours. An hour probably. So, yeah. They got done. That's how God guided it. It wasn't how I decided it had to be done. It wasn't how she decided it had to be done. It was how God guided for it to be done. He guided it for it to be done that way for a reason. That's what she needed. She needed to see the Lord. She needed to see the boxes named. She needed to put specific things in specific boxes. She needed those things to disappear. Riley! Come here, Riley. Come here. Oi! 1 second. So the way to do this is, what does the person need who's being prayed for? I mean, as I say, that was quick. That was like an hour, 2 hours. That was 20 years of, abuse to her, towards her, self-abuse, addiction to many different drugs. She was a complete and utter mess, this woman. In 2 hours, dealt with. Completely dealt with, clean. To the point where her husband, I've mentioned this before, her husband was someone who needed her to need him. So when she went back home, clean, he left her. She was not the same woman. She was not the woman who was crippled by all that crap anymore. And he looked at her and she was completely healed. And he looked at himself and he thought, well, why on earth would she want me now? But you see, before I prayed for her, I made sure. I said over and over and over and over again to him, do you want to be there? I said, you need to be there. You need to see what's going on here. He's like, yeah, I will do. Yeah, I'll be there. Amber, walk away. Then on the night it was going to happen, he then said, no, I don't need to be there. If he would have seen what she had gone through, if he would have seen what she was letting go of, and the fullness of the stuff that she'd had in her, his reaction to all that being dealt with may have been completely different, because he would have understood the hugeness of it all. But he didn't, because of the fact that he wasn't there. He decided not to be there. I told him he should be there, that it was something he should witness. As her husband, he needed to be there to see her go through this, to share in this. He said no in the end, so there you go. Had he said no initially in the beginning, then I would probably have told her I can't do it, not until he's ready. Has this person got a dog? They're just standing there. Sorry about that. There's more stuff in the nose. Yeah, she's got dogs. She's whistling her dog. Again, don't whistle your dog, please. When there's other dogs there, you whistle your dogs. My dogs are going to come running to you because they hear a whistle. They don't know it's not for them, do they? Let's come to this beautiful, peaceful area. This is gorgeous, this area. Absolutely beautiful. Aye. It's nice. I'll be bringing Mollie out, possibly here. I'm not totally sure. Come here, Chewie. Here now. I'm not totally sure if Mollie's coming here or elsewhere. Don't know. But if here, then I'll do a part 2 video. There's so much more that can be spoken about. Riley, no. Right there, bud. Chewie, no. Chewie, come here. No. Come here. Good boy. Ah, no jumping. Don't you dare. Muddy paws. Leave all that. Too big. Those sticks are way too big. I'm taking those, okay? Anyway, so yeah. It's yeah, indeed. I've got the days completely wrong, actually. Yesterday, I didn't realise yesterday was Thursday. I thought yesterday was Friday. Because when I then booked the time for the gym next, I booked Monday because I thought that was 2 days away. It's like, oh, okay, it's Friday, is it? All right, as you do. Extra day. Lucy! Pay that nutter. Careful what you run into, Donut. You hurt yourself. Go on. Donut. She's a bit of a nutter as well. You've got Chewie and her are absolute nutters. But I love them to bits. They're gorgeous doggies. Yeah, indeed. Oh well. Oh, there was another East Idaho News Secret Santa. Today. There was another video. The Friday one. Feel Good Friday one as well. Feel Good Friday one was funny. A boy who was supposed to be playing American rugby. They call it American football, so it's actually American rugby. Yeah, supposed to be playing American rugby. and his mate had turned up, teammate, without the right footwear. Because he's got cleats on the shoes or something, like studs, I suppose. But of course, he then gave his cleats to the other lad. So you play, I just watch today. Yeah, he wanted to play, but he sacrificed his position for his friend to play. So of course they turned up at the school where they gave him some gift cards, and the boy was so not interested in what was going on at all. He was like, excuse me, who are you? What are you doing here? Yeah, okay, I did that, so what? Yeah. It was quite funny actually. But then the Secret Santa one was a lady who was Vietnamese, possibly. Not too sure. Not too sure. Lucy! Shut up now. Stop shouting. Pack it up. Noisy dog. Anyway, so yes, possibly Vietnamese, Chinese, not sure. But she had 9 kids. Raised 9 kids. And her husband had recently died. She still had 2 teenage kids at home to take care of. And she worked at the school as basically the caretaker of the school. And, you know, she had always volunteered to do stuff at the school, and, you know, to help out wherever she could. So they went in and gave her a car, you know, a new car, £1,000 to cover the insurance and tax of the car, and then gave her another £10,000, I think, to pay off some of the debt from her husband's medical bills, because of course that's the thing in America. One thing I would say about that situation in America is that I don't care whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat, don't pretend that you have a heart. Yeah, if you don't think in any way, shape or form that free healthcare should be available to everyone, then you're just a hellbound piece of crap, basically. You think that the insurance companies should be able to do all this to destroy people's lives. You think that maybe some people who haven't quite got enough money should suffer and maybe die because they can't have treatment because they haven't got insurance. If the rich idiots want to pay insurance rather than use the free healthcare, they can do that. But there are loads of systems of free healthcare all around the world. Loads of systems of free healthcare all around the world. Pick bits of the best if you want. Make your own out of the best bits of all the others if you want. Or pick one. Doesn't matter. Provide healthcare to your people in the United States. But when someone dies, the relatives don't have to go into huge debt or huge struggling to be able to pay off the medical bills. I mean, generally speaking, look, you go into a hospital with a relative, the idea is the hospital saves your relative. Your relative dies, you still got to pay for their failure, right? They failed to save your relative. And then they hand you a bill at the end of it. Now, let's be fair to the people. Maybe maybe there was nothing they could do. If there's nothing they could do, stop charging. Come here. Get in now. In the car. Donuts. What are you doing going all over there? It's a road. Dozy dogs. Here you go. Jump in. There you go. Anyway. All fun and games. Oh, there's a person. Another person with a dog. I didn't see that person either. In the end. But yeah, free healthcare is a possibility. You can certainly do it. I don't imagine the people in the country wouldn't mind spending a couple of bucks to do that. Yeah. To provide that. I'm sure they'd be quite happy to do that. But there you go. You take care. God bless. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye. Right, this is part 2 of the walkie-talkie with just Mollie. Just Mollie on this one. Give her a chance. Indeed. Suddenly we've got a person. Typical. It is a walkie-talkie, so it is a walkie place, so you've got people. Anyway, right. Oh, all mucky still. Come this way, Mollie. Over here, Bubs. Mollie, here. Let's get out of the way. Come on, this way. We go this way. We got it because they wouldn't. So come on, this way. There you go, pup, pup. Right, so anyway, going on from the last video that I just did. Yes, America, sort yourself out a health system. Trump was lying about it for the whole of 4 years, telling everyone, "Oh, I've got a health system. I really do. I promise one, and I really do have one. I wasn't lying. I really do have one. It's all planned and it's brilliant." Well, he's going to leave office, and he's still going to be telling people we have one. Anyway, 10 years' time, he's going to be telling, "I did have one. Promise, I mean it. I had a health system that was going to blow every other health system out this world." Well, can you tell me any details? "Oh, no, because it was supposed to be put in practice, and because they voted me out, you don't deserve it to be given details." That's what we're going to get from him, isn't it, really? He's a liar. That's what I say. All these people that claim to be Christians, if you're a Christian, don't vote for a liar. Not a liar who's still lying. I mean, if he had just come out before the election and said, "Look, yeah, okay, we don't have a plan." No, because we were just getting it all sorted and we got COVID. So we had to try and focus on that. And, yeah, we made some mistakes when we first come in because we got rid of all the plans that the previous government had in place for dealing with something like COVID. If he had just done that, I said, yeah, okay. At least he's been honest. In fact, he could have been honest for the first 3 years, but he's been honest now. He was never honest from minute 1 to minute whatever. The last minute, even now, he's not honest, is he? He's still talking about the election being a fraud. Even though I think they've had 20 odd cases brought before judges that judges have just thrown out because they have no evidence at all. Bless me, indeed. Well, so anyway, let's get past that because it's just more Trump rubbish. I'm just going to get annoyed talking about Trump. That sort of stupidity is just annoying all the time, isn't it, really? So, there you go. Anyway. So, yeah, I was talking earlier about with these church leaders, yes, you've been programmed. I mentioned that and then diverted off. Yeah, you have. The reality is you have been programmed. You've been programmed by, whether it's your parents, because now, certainly the last 20 years, even longer actually, I've got a stepbrother who's probably 35, 40 maybe, 40 now. He's at least 40, if not 44. He was an latchkey kid, so he was basically given everything because the parents weren't there. His mum and dad were never there when he got home from school. They sort of showered him with gifts and made him feel incredibly special all the time when they were there. Even though they would have told him he was doing great when he wasn't. That's all right, she's okay.
He may not be.
Huh?
He may not be.
Oh, she's pretty okay. She pretty much sticks to herself.
He's not socialised with that.
Come in, Mollie.
He's fine with humans. Not with dogs.
Aye.
Hold on.
Alright, take care. This time I've got the one who really doesn't care about going over to say hello to dogs, particularly. She's not really a doggy dog, more of a people dog. But anyway, yeah, what I was saying about that. So yeah, parents have been for a good 30 to 40 years now, lying to kids, programming kids to, lie, to say nice things all the time, programming kids to believe that they're special when they're not. Well, special in the sense that, where the world owes them a favour sort of thing, where they're sort of entitled in some way, when they're really not at all. And that's why you've got all these kids now who are kids of the sort of the people who were being parented 40 years ago. Now their kids are wanting safe spaces and all that sort of stuff. Well, you've been either a programmer of that or you've been programmed in that. Now, yeah, some of that has been taught by parents, some has been taught by the school, because even in school now, and like for years, going back, oh God, how many years now since you've not been there, since the school has not been able to smack kids? I'm not saying schools should smack kids, but I'm saying how many years has it been since schools were told, by law they're not allowed to smack kids or discipline kids anymore? That's part of it. No discipline. You take discipline away. Parents aren't disciplining kids, schools aren't disciplining kids. So of course, there's no accountability. There's no desire for accountability, is there, really? You've been programmed, you see? All of that is programmed you to just sell the nice stuff, because in schools, of course, everyone's a winner in schools now. Has been for a long time. Everyone in school is a winner. If they compete in any sort of event, there's no winners or losers, they're all winners. Which of course in life is complete rubbish. They're not all winners at all. Something I saw yesterday that was quite interesting. A lady who was a matchmaker. We were talking about unrealisticness of the views. Lady who was a matchmaker, mainly matchmake women. Now we're talking women probably over 35. Between 35 and 45, I guess. Well, because younger than that, they wouldn't need a matchmaker. Most don't, younger than that. They have their looks to do it for them, don't they? So anyway, she's talking about these women and how these women are so incredibly unrealistic. They want a man like Eldris Evra and Brad Pitt and all these sort of people. They want a man looking like that. Like a new Superman. That's the looks they want. They want him. 6'2", 6'3", £600,000 a year minimum sort of wage take home. What they don't realise, and this woman's pointing out, 6'2". So if you want a man who's 6'2", you're looking at less than 3% of the population of the world that you get to choose from there. Now, of that 3%, if you're saying the person has to earn over a certain amount of money, that takes a percentage right the way down again. If you say that person must be single, that person must be straight, that person must be pinky skinned or brown skinned, again, the chances of you finding that person is getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. And if you've got all these women around about a certain age who are looking for that same man, you've got no chance of finding him. And it's right. It's these unrealistic views that people have where they've been programmed by society to look for a certain image, for a certain type. And that's with regards to attractiveness. But with regards to friendship or ministry or anything like that, where things have got to be nice, they've got to be comfortable. They've got to be encouraging. Sorry, encouraging, as I say, lukewarm. You're talking about something that is lukewarm. The Lord said he will puke that out of his mouth. Lukewarm is not acceptable in any way, shape or form. Cold is more acceptable than lukewarm. Right? Because the Lord said, I'd rather you be hot or cold. So even cold is more acceptable than lukewarm. And the problem is we've got all these people that are lukewarm, that have been programmed by parents, by society, by Bible college, to be lukewarm. And by church itself. And it's a situation that's going to have to require God to do some major chiseling within people, really. Oh, it's going to be tough. It potentially is going to be tough, certainly. I said to the Lord a number of years ago to do this, make me, shake me, break me, make me. So that's when, like, if you're dealing with a garden, first of all, you've got to reveal the issues. That's where the shaking comes in. That's where you reveal what's underneath. Breaking means that's when you cut that up. Hello, Pup Pup.
Hi.
So, yeah, breaking is where you sort of dig down and get rid of all the old bits of metal that's in the ground and brickwork and all that sort of stuff. Now, of course, for people, you're talking about all the old sin, all the old habits that are bad for you. So digging down and doing that. And make me is where you're talking about where you're turning this garden into a beautiful garden, into something that's clean and tidy and looks nice and is pleasurable to be in. Of course, it's all a process, but it starts with the shaking and then the breaking before you get to the making. And we're in that situation with the church. The church is going to be shook, then broke, then made. Made in his image, made in his will and his way. Because we've been so far away from his will and his way. It's incredible. Mollie, come. Come, Bubba, girl. Just Mollie and Daddy today, isn't it, Mollie, eh? In this walkies, yeah? Just Mollie and Dad. There you go, Mollie Carly. Love. Oh, so far with regards to Mollie, Chewie. I don't know if you remember me saying I want to get Riley mated with Mollie, because it's possible that she'll have more puppies, therefore she'll have a female that I can keep in this one, and therefore I can get her and Chewie done sooner rather than later. But guess which dog was the first one to mate with her? Chewie, yes. But then, so I gave Riley a go last night, and he had his go last night. So you never know when she's receptive. I think it's quite likely that she's not receptive in the first go. So the first go is not the time when they're the most receptive. I think it's after that. Could even be a few days after that. So now it's a case of keep Chewie away from her. Just let Riley be the one. And hopefully that works. I would hope so. I will see what happens. She's a good girl, is Mollie Collie. Ain't you, Mollie? You a good girl? Mollie, a good girl? Mollie, good girl. Zoom in a bit for her. It's only her this time. It comes, Mollie Collie. It is. Beautiful girl, isn't she? Beautiful number one baby. Oh, you're a happy girl? Yes, Mollie, a happy girl, isn't you? Eh? Hi, Daddy. No, I wouldn't go for that one. It's a bit spiky. We'll find another sticky for Mollie Collie, won't we, eh? Yeah, Mollie likes a sticky, didn't you, Mollie? Bit wet. I imagine you can hear the rain. Yeah. Well, it was forecast. Around about 1 o'clock it's supposed to rain. I'm not sure what time it is now, but it's going to be around that area. Yeah. So that's fine. Give her a chance to have a little walkies. Hi. All fun and games. But yeah, folks, I just hope, I hope that most of these people that have been in the way, because, put it this way, it's not just the leaders. The leaders couldn't get away with it if the congregation weren't backing the leader. Yeah. Because generally speaking, congregations tend to pick leaders that back their way of thinking. Yeah, that's the reality. So if you as a congregation want to think about things in a certain way, you'll pick a leader who is also thinking about things in that way. And the problem is, again, they're backing each other. Let's say the congregation wanted leaders who have been in Bible college and done all of that, so there you go. They got what they wanted, but God's saying no. That's not what He wants. So, come on.
Hiya. Enough.
Use a barker.
Typical terrier.
Aye. See, Mollie didn't care. Doggy barking, Mollie just says, go away. I don't care. Aye. Aye. But yeah, so as I say, the people in the way, yeah, you need understanding that when it comes down to it, yeah, there's going to be a massive amount of people that when the church moves forward, they won't be there. They just won't be there. It could be the case that the people who you would have thought that definitely will be there, won't be there. There's going to be a cut, basically. I mean, we look at scripture where it talks about the cut. Yeah, it talks about people being cut off. And I think we're coming towards that now in the church. I hope so. I do hope so, because folks, look, I'm not trying to be, uncaring about the people in the church who have been getting in the way. But to be honest, I am to a certain degree uncaring about those people. Those people have made their decisions. They've decided to go down the paths they've gone down. That was up to them, right? They can decide to get right with God and turn their lives around. They can decide to do that at any point in time. At a point in time until they're cut off. Even after they're cut off, they can come back. Okay? And they can. Just because you've been cut off doesn't mean you can't rejoin. Because you can. That's my key. Look at that. Jeez. Mollie, come this way. Come on. Come on, Bubba girl. Come on, Bubba girl. But the reality is that there is great need for Spirit-filled, born-again Christians. And for a church filled with them. Even if it's just a case of five Spirit-filled, born-again Christians on their own can take a church forward. 5 Spirit-filled, born-again Christians in a church of 200, when 195 are just churchgoers, will get suffocated. The 5 will just get suffocated by the 195. They get drowned by that. They won't be able to function very well at all. They'll have to meet in secret, do everything in secret, and really not meet with the rest at all. That's the reality. Mollie, come this way. Come up. So, yeah, there is a great need. There's a need within society for people being set free. There's a need for light. There's a lot of darkness. There's a need for light. Yeah. People have been through a lot. They really have. Come on this way. People need to be set free. They need to be healed. A lot of healing is needed. And churchgoers are going to be useless in that completely. Hello, Bubba girl. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Hello, Mollie. I'm coming. I'm coming. Yeah, I'm coming. Don't worry. I'm coming. Looking back to make sure I'm coming. Of course I'm coming. You're my number one, ain't you? Hey? Don't you ask Mollie Carly? Huh? Mollie Carly. Love you. Well, folks, I wish those people well, I really do. Those people that have been in the way. I hope that they get out of the way. I really do. I hope they get right with God. But their choice is their choice. As I said last night, the problem is that most of these people don't recognise that they are the people that are in the way. Of course they don't. As I said last night, with these people Had they have realised at any point in time over the past 10, 20 years that they were in the way, they would have got out of the way. They would. Well, yeah, maybe not. Not all of them. I certainly think that there'd be some of them who would try to change things, and then they'd persuade themselves that they're now out of the way, that they are now more right with God. And although they might be a bit more right with God, it doesn't mean they're right with God. It's a difficult situation. I mean, when you're in a situation where you are on the wrong path, going in the wrong direction, and you've been on that wrong direction for a long time, when you start to consider that maybe you're on the wrong path and you've been on the wrong direction for a long time, you don't want to accept that. That's a horrible thing to accept, isn't it, really? Of course it is. So, you've got to understand with these people, I don't think that the majority of people in the way have got in the way on purpose and stayed in the way on purpose. I don't think that's the case in any way, shape or form. No. Oh yeah. Good on her. Right. She's doing well. I mean, as I say, talked about earlier, about energy, about putting in the effort to change. I think I just said that one last night. This woman's just run past. Obviously, you've got some pounds that are too high, but she's obviously in a position where she sees the benefit of change. She sees the benefit of putting that effort in, whether that's physical for her health, don't know, for emotional health, maybe physical health, mental health, don't know, but she's doing it. She's going for a run. Good for her. Not easy. No, when you've got the extra pounds, it's really difficult, especially to start. Really difficult to start. So, well done. Lord, I pray you'll bless that lady, help her in her efforts to get to the goals that she's trying to achieve. I pray this now in your precious name, my Lord Yeshua. I pray it's your glory. Amen. Well then, folks, here we go. We're coming to the car now. You take care. God bless. I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.